Hey YouTube, this is Fix It with Biscuit. We're gonna make some kydex holsters out of kydex sheets. This is 060 thickness. We're gonna cut it to fit. This is a CCP Walter. You want to make sure that there's nothing in it. It's all safety checked. Do not ever want to mold anything with it loaded. That would be a very dumb idea. But anyways, we're going to cut this into 4 sections of 6" by 6" squares, because that's what we use for the CCP. And I recommend getting one of these mats. One of these mats, they're self-healing. They have grids on them. Great for lining all your edges up and everything so you get straight cuts. And same goes for this. Here, it's see-through, so you can place your kydex underneath it and move it around and make sure that you're just getting the best cuts you can, because you don't want to, cut up your kydex and squiggly marks and stuff like that, because, it just doesn't look good. And another thing is, it just takes a lot of time to fix it, So let's see if I can mess this up. Which we want to cut them. Well, let's first see if it's actually a 12 by 12 sheet, which some companies are perfectly 12 by 12, and then some are just a hair over, and some are a hair less. And this looks like it's just over 12 by 12. So it is 12 1/4. So we're going to do the measurement for that. We want to make sure that we are lined up. And when you put your hand on here, I always seem to slide the kydex around. Just like that. Just light, nice strokes. You don't want to push too hard, because you'll push it out from underneath. And and then just fold it in half and break it. And then we want to measure this side and make sure it's what it is. And this one's exactly 12. So we'll want to cut it at 6 inches. Just like that, and snap it, and then you got your 2 perfect pieces here, and we're done with the big one. And then you can set your gun in here, and this is how you figure out where the gun placement of what you want. And what I like to do is make sure that the gun's lined up perfectly at the end. And another thing is I almost messed up here. And you need to do is, the rough spot here is your outside of your holster. The smooth side is inside. And even me, I forget and I start marking out my design of my gun on the outside, and you do not want to do that. you want to make sure that you have it the shiny side to form your holster. And what I like to do is I measure from here to here on my placement of my gun and try to make it the same size on both sides from your trigger guard to the top of your slide. So 1 3/4 and we're 1.5 inches, so just move over a little bit. 1 5/8 1 5/8, and that way you can do 1 5/8 back here, 1 5/8 here, and your gun's directly centered for the most part. And then you just trace. And the gun will wiggle around some. It's normal, it's slick. And then you want to, just like that. I mean, somewhere here. But anyways, you can kind of see it. The best thing is that I see it. And I like to do is this section, I like to mark it straight across here and here, because you don't need this piece. You're going to cut it off anyways. And you just be careful, because you slip up into here, you just messed up, and you just don't want to waste kydex. It's better to always cut less, take less off at a time than it is to cut too much, because you can never put it back on. I mean, it's just, and you just like that, and then take your other sheet and line it up just like that, and where it's perfect, and do the same. And make sure that you flip the gun, because you never want to mold the same side twice. Makes for a goofy looking holster. And did I just do that? Like that? Yes, I did. See, just like that. I messed up. See, because if I would have not paid attention to that, I'd cut it and molded it the exact same side twice. So make sure that when you do this, you have both of the rough edges, because then you can mark your line perfect, as you see. And I use just a regular pencil, because you can just wipe away your mistakes. And then set your gun in here, what do we say it was? A 1 5/8 inch and 5/8, and of course a 1 5/8. Like, how perfect is that? And you just mark your gun placement. And I'm just doing the backside and stuff to show you that I would be cutting out the exact same spot as I did on here. And then just cut it out. Can't stress enough how much to be careful with your freaking cuts. You really want to be careful with your cuts, because you know, one slip and you gouge the kydex, and it's gonna break, you know, in that spot, because it's a weak spot. And kydex, you know, it's tough, but over time, you know, it'll break. And you just check to see how you line up. With it, and just, you know, double check, make sure, because like, I can't see my lines very well on this one, so I'm gonna redo them. There. And that's how I start every time. No matter if I'm, you know, making a bigger full size or what, I always start the exact same. No difference. So, thanks for watching, and the next video will be on heating your kydex and putting it in the mold. You know, stay tuned for that.